This one is SCP-3800 Many Grandparents Ago. Ectoentropic humanoid SCP? I have no idea what this one is. I don't know what this means, so should be interesting. Wish I did know, but I don't. Got my mic volume back up, so now I'm very loud.
Good
Loud.
afternoon, everyone.
Interesting.
My
Yes.
name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-3800. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedure.
Luna's kind of in the way. Give me a sec.
SCP-3800 is
There we
contained
go.
at Site-93, located near the Eurasian Pole of Inaccessibility in Xinjiang, China.
So
It
we're
is
in
to be
China.
kept in a standard containment locker. Currently, a colony of SCP-3800-1 is contained on a previously uninhabited archipelago, designated Outpost 3800, see addendum, located at the following coordinates. Hidden cameras have been installed at various locations on the outpost to monitor and study the colony's activity. Currently, roughly 34%, 4.5 kilometers of the outpost's landmass is covered in SCP-3800-1 structures. The colonization of Outpost 3800 is not expected to increase the range of SCP-3800 to dangerous levels. Testing held at Outpost 3800 of any kind must be approved by 2 Level 4 personnel. Additional SCP-3800-1 instances that manifest for any reason are to be tranquilized and transported to Outpost 3800.
So I'm guessing SCP-3800 is the outpost itself, or whatever archipelago it's at. And 3801 refers to the humanoid entities, which seem to be sapient in some way. I mean, it just says many grandparents ago, but I don't know. Maybe it's something related to humans that's anomalous? We'll see.
Emergency protocols to transport SCP-3800 to Lunar Outpost 45 have been arranged and will be enacted should SCP-3800's
Lunar Outpost 45. So we're going full space kind of stuff right now. That's crazy. So Lunar Outpost 45 has been arranged. Should 800 radius grow past 2,500 kilometers.
radius grow past 2,500 kilometers. Description: SCP-3800 is an oil and acrylic print of Sean Tan's They Came by Water, set in a wooden frame.
Well, that is definitely not what I expected. So it's a oil painting.
It appears to be an original print. The title, artist signature, and identification number, 283 out of 500, are all present at the bottom of the print. SCP-3800's anomalous effect manifests when it is located within roughly 800, previously thought to be 100, kilometers of any coastline.
Well, who was it? Yeah. There's another SCP YouTuber called SCP Exploring, where he actually has a compilation of all of art SCPs that exist. So, yeah, you have to fear oil paintings too. And statues. And other stuff. Yeah.
Seashore, or ocean. Should this occur, instances of SCP-3800-1 will emerge from the ocean at an hourly rate of 5 to 20 instances per kilometer of coastline encompassed by SCP-3800's radius.
That doesn't sound good.
Instances of SCP-3800-1 appear to be Caucasian humanoids with several
No comment.
physical abnormalities. Most notably, instances lack mouths, nostrils, genitalia, mammaries, anuses, and body hair. Additionally, all instances share traits of dwarfism and
Too many SCPs. We need to deport them. I mean, yeah. Maybe deport them to the moon or something. Maybe that will work.
show little signs of higher intelligence. They possess no form of written or spoken communication and lack any sort of religion, trade system, or hierarchy. Following initial manifestation, instances will walk to shore and begin establishing a colony. When in a group, instances of SCP-3800-1 will attempt to establish a series of structures away from humans, aggressive fauna, or inhospitable areas. Specifically, instances will attempt to build shelters out of available materials and begin farming any available flora. SCP-3801 instances will become agitated and hostile if impeded from...
So there are some strange humanoids that build structures and stuff. That's just Setsu from Naruto. Oh.
creating these structures, or if they are destroyed. Additionally, instances have shown the ability to craft and utilize rudimentary tools such as clubs, axes, and digging sticks out of stone, wood, and grasses, but appear to be unable to create or use more advanced technology.
So they're at least limited.
Once instances of SCP-3801 have established their initial colony, they continue to expand it, building additional farms and shelters further out from their original settlement point. Instances almost never engage in activity that does not benefit their colony and usually spend their time gathering materials, building structures, or tending to farms. As the colony's population grows, instances show a progressively greater ability to clear obstacles preventing them from expanding their territory, such as thick flora, animal territories, and man-made structures. However, SCP-3801 has never attempted to cross bodies of seawater following their initial manifestation and appear unable to do so. For each square kilometer of land that SCP-3801 incorporates into their territory, SCP-3800's radius of effect increases by roughly 5 kilometers. This radius also increases by 5 kilometers per day whenever no active SCP-3801 colonies exist. Due to continental...
Well, that's interesting. So you have to allow these creatures to exist, otherwise the SCP's effect grows. That's interesting. Well, but the only thing we don't know yet is what these 3801s are, actually. Are they human? Or are they something else? Or what are we dealing with here? Oh, shit.
801 colonies exist. Due to continental constraints, a radius past 2,645 kilometers would result in an exponential increase in SCP-3800's range and uncontrolled SCP-3801 manifestations thereafter, leading to a possible RK-class restructuring scenario or NK-class end-of-the-world scenario should it be left on Earth. Initial discovery. SCP-3800 was initially discovered on 02-03-11 following a 112 call from Useless Loop, Western Australia, with reports of strange men building houses in the middle of the road. Once an
in the middle of the road?
In the area, Mobile Task Force Sigma-16, Dusty's goons, were tasked with investigation, containment, and cleanup of the area. Initial contact with SCP-3801 was made on the same day, with structures created by the instances present for roughly 4 kilometers along the eastern coast of Kararang. Once cleanup of the structures began, SCP-3801 instances became hostile and attempted to attack Mobile Task Force personnel, though not causing any serious injuries. All instances and those that manifested thereafter were tranquilized and transported to Site-23 for containment. While Mobile Task Force 16 was stationed in the area, SCP-3801's radius of manifestation grew large enough to encompass much of the western Kararang coast as well. A second colony manifested there, and expanded unobserved for over 16 hours due to the small population density in the area. By the time this colony was discovered, the instance's manifestation radius had grown rapidly. Following this event...
Yeah, indeed. So these things just seem to be... Maybe they're just programmed to colonize stuff? Or just build buildings? I'm not sure.
Additional forces were called to aid in containment. SCP-3801 continued to manifest off the coast of Western Australia for roughly 2 weeks. During this time, SCP-3800's radius had grown to encompass the entirety of Kararang's coastline, along with portions of Nanga, Dirk-Harthog Island, and Francois Perron National Park. Due to the increasing radius of manifestation, emergency containment procedures were devised for the evacuation of Perth and other Western Australian cities, along with a complete quarantine of the Western Australian coast. On 15/03/11, SCP-3800 was discovered in an SCP-3800-1 shelter in northern Tamala and brought
Oh, so
inland
this is
to
where they
Site
found
23,
the oil painting.
ceasing SCP-3800-1's manifestation. Due to inconsistencies between SCP-3800-1's initial manifestation location and SCP-3800's recovery location, it was determined that SCP-3800 had been moved at least once, likely by an instance of SCP-3800-1. Additionally, the structure in which SCP-3800 was located also contained a number of unusual items.
Oh,
See
great.
Addendum 2.
More
The
anomalies.
remaining SCP-3800-1 structures were destroyed soon after. Total loss is numbered at dollars in damage, injured civilians, and casualties. Amnestics were administered to individuals. All captured SCP-3800-1 instances were placed under medically induced comas and contained at Site 23. Addendum. Roughly 5 months following initial containment, several instances of SCP-3800-1 manifested off the Great Australian Bight.
The Australian Bight is in south of the continent. That's where it is.
Following containment and subsequent remanifestation of the instances, it was determined that SCP-3800's radius of effect had increased from an approximate 100 kilometers to a minimum 800 kilometers. It was hypothesized that SCP-3800's effect radius increases whenever no active SCP-3800-1 colonies exist. This was proven following multiple tests of SCP-3800-1 manifestation. All newly manifested instances, along with the instances contained in Site-23, were transported to what would become Outpost 3800.
Yeah, it sounds like a giant pain in the ass for the SCP Foundation, honestly. So basically, you have to allow these things to have a colony, otherwise the radius of effect grows and allows them to make more colonies, which sounds, honestly, very annoying.
And awakened from their comas. Following the creation of Outpost 3800, SCP-3800 was transported to its current location at Site-93 using the SCPS Christoph. Addendum 2. Recovered materials.
You get to see the
Additional
crazy
objects
stuff.
were found in the shelter where SCP-3800 was initially discovered. However, SCP-3800 was the only object that showed any anomalous capabilities. These items included one incomplete ocean navigation chart, one handwritten note, and one non-functional compass. All 3 items were dated to the late 1500s. The note appeared to be a ripped-out diary page and is written in Portuguese. Most of the note has been water damaged and is illegible. It is as follows, translated into English. Day 133. It was a mistake to come here, for these lands are already inhabited. Their cities go on for as far as the eye can see. The rest of the crew entered a day ago, and only Thomas has returned to the ship. At least, it feels like Thomas.
Oh boy.
He said that the natives intend to send a message to the children and asked me to come with him. Said I could either join the crew or die with the ship. I told him to give me a day to decide, and he returned to the city. I believe my decision is made. Even now, I see them preparing their ships across the horizon. I must act now. The captain brought a sample from last year's outbreak, just in case. It won't survive long outside the ship unless I take it upon myself to bring it into the city. I see no other option. We were doomed once we reach the shore. I will bury my personal effects here, and should... Illegible for the remainder of the note.
Interesting.
This concludes...
Huh. Who was it made by?
Today's lecture. Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye.
Usually shows who wrote the SCP right after. Gotta make sure we add some credit. I'm Stel. Hello, Stel. This article is written by I am Stel. Oh. Hi, Stel. Alright, folks. I guess we'll end it here.